speed it up. That is what I meant. And finally, to CS Murkomen, he said he quoted to 245. Why we are demanding that DIG Lagat steps aside, it is because he is a police officer, and this matter revolves around him. So you cannot liken this to a complaint that is made by a senator or somebody else. This is a police officer who can interfere and who can command even people, the officers that are investigating. So it needs to be made clear. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Crystal Asiingili.
That's very brilliant.
Thank you, Speaker. The clarification that I sought, which is not part of my 3 minutes, I hope, Speaker, was that the question was asked of whether Albert Ojwang was alone or with others in the cell. And the IG said that that would be answered by the DCI and or IPOA, and neither of them answered that question. So that was the clarification that I was seeking. And it was further highlighted by Senator Mandago, who said that there is a detainee witness statement that IPOA took that would probably shed light on whether he was alone or with others. That is the clarification. My first question, Speaker. Who issued, this is to DCI, who issued the orders for Albert to be driven from Homa Bay all the way to Nairobi? I would like to know who issued the particular instruction for that to happen and not to process him in Homa Bay. Next, the DIG personally, we have been informed, recorded a complaint. And who took down that complaint? I would like to know from the DCI as well. And who else recorded a statement in support of the allegations made by the DIG? That is also to DCI. Next is to the IG. I know that the IG Speaker already has said that many of the questions will be answered or will be revealed once investigations are complete, but this one perhaps he can answer directly. This is to the IG. You said in your first media brief that the cause of death was that he hit his head on the wall, Albert. And you've just clarified that was wrong information given to you by the primary report by an officer. Who was this officer who gave you this false information that you then issued in your first media briefing that misled the country as of the cause of death? That is what I want to know. And the reason I ask this is because if someone saw and alleged that he had repeatedly hit his head on the walls.
Senator Tobiko. Okay, Senator Asiingili, don't worry, I'll take care of that. Just have your seat. Senator Tobiko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very brief because a number of questions that I had have already been answered in the process. Mr. Speaker, because the DCI said the crime was perpetrated in Nairobi, that's why the suspect was brought to Nairobi. Yet cybercrime, social media, including X-Space, is not necessarily domiciled in Nairobi. It is still baffles Mr. Speaker why the suspect was brought to Nairobi. But now that that happened, and he seems to have paid for his crime through his life. What then, Mr. Speaker, will be the recourse for a murder of this young man who has been murdered by the police? What will then be, the recourse for the family and for Kenyans in general, Mr. Speaker? Because there seems to be a crime on top of another crime, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had also wanted, but the lady from IPOA has responded, I had wanted to know whether the interdicted officers have recorded their statements and what is the account of the account of the deceased since he was brought to the station. What was his situation when he was brought to the station? But she said those statements were being taken today in the afternoon, so maybe that we will get to know later on. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to know whether the officers at the station, that is the report office, the cell sentry, record at the OB, if they clearly stated the status or the health situation of the deceased before he was booked in. Mr. Speaker, it is also of interest to this House to know how many hours it took to pick Mr. Ojwang from his home to, what was the name of that police station? The first police station. Mawega. And then from Mawega to Nairobi. How many hours? Because that seems to have had so many hours in between, so that we know whether that is normal or whether there was a detour to some other place before he was finally booked into Nairobi. And then, Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to know the normal situation. Do police arrest to investigate, or they investigate, forward the case to ODPP, then the DPP recommends the arrest? What is the normal situation, Mr. Speaker?
Senator Muma. Senator Muma.
Thank you, Speaker. I'll be very quick. First, policy questions to the CS. CS, whatever you might call law or policy in Kenya, it would seem it doesn't work for police excesses. But in your speech, you seem to suggest that currently we are out of the woods on matters police excesses. I would want to ask, do you have any policy review proposals around issues of abductions and extrajudicial killings? Secondly, what is your view about commissions of inquiry and inquests as tools that would be used to investigate police excesses? Finally, for you, does the police have any curriculum on human rights approaches to service delivery? CS, that is different from human rights. Human rights approaches is about how you apply human rights in service delivery. For the IG, DCI, IPOA, severally and together, first, the offense of publication. Why did you not, or why do you not consider inviting the person you think has offended to come to the police station for you to ask them questions? Why do you need to deploy a whole vehicle, and you're complaining about resources, all the way to arrest one person? Secondly, IG, it will be good for you to confirm that what your communication director issued, I don't think it's reached even 2 minutes, please. What your communication director issued is actually, I want you to confirm again that it was a false statement that he issued. Thirdly, does IPOA have an independent forensic lab where you're going to carry your...
Senator Kinyua.
Asanti, Bwana Speaker. Swali langu ni kwa DIG Kanja. Ninauliza ya kwamba kwa sababu walipomfikisha Albert Ojwang, walipomfikisha pale Central Police Station, tayari yule ambaye ni afisa mkuu wa pale katika ile police station ambaye anaitwa Talam hakuwako. Inasemekana alipigiwa simu kuulizwa kama atakubali yule Albert Ojwang aweze kuwekwa katika ile seli. Ni utaratibu wa katika polisi zetu, yeye afisa ambaye anasimamia station awe akiulizwa kama mtu yoyote ambaye analetwa katika police station awekwe ndani au la. Hilo ndi swali langu la kwanza. Swali la pili, ambao walikuwa pale ikiwemo Talam tayari wamesimamishwa kazi. Na Talam hakuwa katika, yeye makosa yake ni kuwa yeye ndiye afisa mkuu katika ile police station ya Central. Tutafika mwisho wapi kuwasimamisha watu kazi, kwa sababu kulingana na mwendo huo afisa mkuu wa polisi wa Nairobi, kwa sababu ako na mamlaka, anapaswa kusimamishwa kazi. Siye huyo peke yake, afisa mkuu wa polisi katika Jamhuri ya Kenya anapaswa kusimamishwa kazi. Kabla tufike hapo,